Here's our solutions to the test. G of -2 just means you're plugging in -2 for the x, where this is the opposite. You're taking -1, plugging in for the g of x, so you're plugging it in here. Most people miss this one because they didn't multiply by the denominator here. So -1 times the 2 would be -2, and -1 times the -x squared gives you the positive x squared. Add x to both sides, or add 2 to both sides, and that's how you get the 4. And then when you solve that, you could have a positive or -2. Most people did fine on the other ones. Put them equal to each other. I added 2x to both sides, added 6 to both sides, factor it, and I get those two answers. So when I factor it, I got this, did that in my head, and that's how I get my 3 for my x and my 0 for my x. And to get my y's, I just plugged it into one of the equations. Doesn't matter which one I picked. Just plug it in and you get your y values. And when you graph both of them, they should intersect at 0, -6, and at 3, -12. Most people did fine on this one. You missed it if you didn't put the 0. Don't forget that x also gives you another answer. If you have an x cubed, you could have 3 answers, 2, 1, or 0 answers. This one has a squared, so it could have 2, or 1, or 0 answers. Some of you are missing this because you don't know what the quadratic formula is. Maybe you need to study and memorize that, so when you walk in, you know it's -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And then it's just simplifying. Many people miss the range on this one. The lowest value for the y's, the lowest one I can get, is -2, because if I plug in -5, I get out -2. So that's my lowest value. My highest value, this arrow keeps going forever and ever and ever, so it has to go all the way up to infinity. My lowest x is -6, all the way to infinity. Most people got that one right. You're missing this one. Just multiply by the common denominator. It gets rid of all the fractions. So 2x times 1 is 2x, divided by 2x is 1. 2x times 1 is 2x. 2x times 5 is 10x, divided by x is 10. And then you just solve it. 0 times -2 is 0. So x equals 0. Most people got that one right. I think a couple of people missed this one. Opposite over hypotenuse, sine. Talked about this one today. It's appreciating by 7.5%, so that's 100% plus 7.5%, and you get 107.5%. That's a percent. Write it as a decimal, and then you can use it. So in 6 years or in -8 years. Arithmetic means you're adding something every time, and that tells you it's a line, it's linear. So you can take that as an x and that as a y, x and a y, find your slope, find your y-intercept, and then t of 10 means you're just taking 10 and plugging it into the equation for n and solving. Arithmetic means you're subtracting or adding by something each time. So this one you're subtracting by 320 minus 320 gives you that 4 or -240, and then you just solve. Geometric means you're multiplying by something, and you're multiplying by 1/5. So you multiply 80 by 1/5 and you get 16, and then you just solve. And write in the equation is just, for the arithmetic, since you're subtracting that every time, and you started off at 400, this one, start off at 400, and you're multiplying by 1/5 every time. That's it.